Welcome back. I will be talking today about what Vipassana is. All my videos revolve around Vipassana meditation, all the benefits, all my experiences with it. So I'll be talking about what the actual meditation is. I won't be teaching it, but I will be giving you a way for you to learn it. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name's Khalid. So Vipassana, really what the word Vipassana means, as it's been explained to me, is seeing things as it is, right? It's the meditation of seeing clearly, of seeing reality as it is. And what does this mean, right? It comes from a background of there is delusion, there is ignorance, there is all these other factors that contribute to having a wrong view of the world, having a wrong understanding of what you are, of what the world is, of what the rules are to live with in order to have a good life, right? And so it's sort of clearing all of that so that you can have a good life. So it originated back, or so I've heard, with the Buddha, who was, on Earth 2,500 or so years ago, and he, was teaching this technique. But the person who brought this to me and is bringing it to the world in 2020s, in the 90s actually, but in modern times, is S.N. Goenka. Now, S.N. Goenka, unfortunately, he is not alive today in 2024, but he really popularized and brought Vipassana to the world. He created these courses, with the help of lots of volunteers and all these meditators who really contributed to it. But now you're able to go to courses all over the world to be able to go learn the technique of Vipassana. And really Goenka is the one that made that possible. And he's the one that teaches and really brought that message, brought Vipassana to the wider community. And I am so grateful that he did that, because if I did not find Vipassana, I feel like my life would be a lot worse. My life would be emptier. My life would be not as fulfilling, not as deep, not as rich, right? All these things. And it's given me so much. And I just want to, I have this YouTube channel to really talk about its impacts and really help other people who are walking down this path, because it is a long path. It's a hard path. It's a committed and dedicated path. But it is a path that has so many benefits and has a proven track record for working, as it's, developed to run free courses all over the world, right? You're not able to have centers in over 100 countries that are run for free and are almost always full, right? I've tried to apply to courses all over the world, and there's always a wait list, and you always have to apply months in advance. That's only possible if the technique actually works, and the technique actually, creates change in people's lives. So the technique itself, right? It has three parts. Vipassana is the second part, which is the purification of the mind. But the first part is anapana, right? It is a focus on the breath, and focusing on the breath, it's called anapana meditation. In that meditation, you're bringing your awareness to your breath, creating a triangular area from, the base of your upper lips to right here to where your nose. And in this triangular area, just focusing on your breath and all that good stuff. And then the second part is Vipassana, which is you start to focus on the body sensations, right? So you start to make your awareness about an inch or smaller or a little bigger. It adjusts, but the standard is, you make it about an inch, and you start to feel the sensations within that inch of awareness at the body part that you are at. And then the third part is metta, which means loving kindness, and it is a heart-based, love-based. You could say the love is mental-based, but all that good stuff. It is loving kindness meditation, sharing your merits with others, sharing kindness, and sharing love with the world. So these three parts make up what is known as Vipassana, even though the second part is the actual technique of Vipassana itself. So it has three parts because there's a reason why there's three parts, right? The first part, anapana. It is how you get introduced to start to cultivate awareness, start to cultivate discipline, start to cultivate sharpness of mind, and start to really enhance your awareness. And that is necessary to lead into Vipassana. And that Vipassana is necessary to lead into Metta, right? So they all like sort of prepare and lead into each other to create a huge transformational change within. And these courses are usually run on 10-day retreats. Like, you have to sign up for a 10-day course. You can go to the Dhamma.org website, which I will link down below. You find a course, near you, or if you want to travel to a course, right? I've done courses, in India. I've gone to South Korea. I've gone places. If you have that luxury, you can find courses in other countries, sign up there. But, usually people find the local one closest to them. Sometimes it's not that close. However, you find it, you sign up. And it's taught on 10-day courses because that is how much is needed to actually learn this technique in its proper sense, right? Because the goal isn't to just have, a calmer mind. You could do a 20-minute guided meditation on YouTube, on Spotify, like wherever you go, and you can be less stressed, right? You could be a little less anxious. And if your goal with meditation is just to be, a little less sad or anything like that, then maybe this much work isn't required, right? Like, you don't need to go for 10 days meditating like 10, 11, 12 hours a day, being in noble silence for 9 of those 10 days. And that just basically means, you're just basically silent except for emergencies, or you have questions for the teacher, or, your bathroom is broken, and so you have to like tell the manager to fix the bathroom, So if it's not necessary speech, if it's not something to really help you, there's no talking. So it's, practically silent. Of course, you can always meet with the teacher if you have questions about the technique. You can have interviews with the teachers, and there's certain times throughout the day, after certain meditation periods, where you can, go ask the teacher questions, guidance, and all that good stuff. And so the 10 days is necessary because it's like the depth of the mind that you're trying to get to, and the depth of the mind that you're trying to change, the subconscious mind, the deepest part of the mind, as well as the surface, as well as all the different layers. You really need 10 days to be able to reach that level, right? And me as a student that I go back every single year. I've done many courses, and I know people that have done a lot more than me, but I've done, quite a few. It always takes the first couple days. It's like the first 2-3 days is just sort of coming out of the constant thinking, being addicted to technology, just so much information overload that the first couple days, even though I'm meditating 10, 12 hours a day, it's just really quieting that down, quieting all that noise and all that activity that the mind is in. And then the next couple days is to start to really go deep. And for me, it's always like day 6 or 7 where I start to really get to a depth where I'm working at a depth that is like, okay, this is where serious work is starting. And so it always feels like it's just the last couple days where I'm actually doing deep work. And so if it was a lot shorter than that, you'd never get to that depth where you're trying to make the change, where you're trying to evolve, the self. So it's very necessary. And SN Goenka did try to do, 7-day courses, 5-day courses, try to start with a shorter amount of time, and just found that the benefits weren't as pronounced, and people didn't really get established and really didn't get to the depth they needed to establish themselves in the practice. And so the shortest amount that gives you the skills necessary to really understand Vipassana, to really understand the technique, and to be able to have the skills to actually do the work at that level was 10 days. And from my own experience and many other people's experiences, especially old students who have, gone to a few courses and have really committed to the practice, is it does take 10 days, and as you're an older student, you start to take 20 days and 30 days and 45 days, right? And it just goes deeper and deeper. And yeah, really 10 days is, the minimum to really be immersed in it. So, Another thing that I like about Vipassana is that it's so logical and it's so science based, and it's just, hey, here's your breath. Here is the sensations in your body. What is the reality of the sensations in your body, right? And what is that? And that's all that you're looking at, right? There's no imagination. There's no visualization. You're not, praying to someone. You're not, doing anything that requires anything that needs imagination, right? You're just, it's real. Your body is real. It's here, right? This is like as real as it gets. And this is what you're learning. This is the tool that you're using to really transform and evolve to be the best that you can be. So the benefits of Vipassana, manyfold, right? I think the biggest one for me is there is an innate, deep need for me to understand what it means to be human, right? I think one of the deepest questions any human can ask is like, what is life? Who am I? What's going on? What's the meaning of this? What's the purpose? What is, all these deep questions that really determine the quality of life, right? The further that I feel that I'm away from having meaning in life, the more miserable I am, right? The more meaningful I feel my life is, the more purpose-filled I feel it is, the happier that I am. So these are like the essential questions that really determine whether you're having a good time or not. And this is what Vipassana really helps with, right? Because what is the best way to know, what is life than studying what life is, right? It's like I'm directly observing the phenomena that is called life, and I'm actively spending every day. I'm spending time, energy, awareness, effort, all of this to discover, to learn, to explore the nature of my life, right? This right here is my life. If this wasn't here, I wouldn't know life as I do. And so, not to get too philosophical, but this is the basis of our life. And so really just studying it really starts to answer that question of, well, what is life? And then of course with, you start to understand the mechanics of the mind. You start to understand how everything relates to each other, how you relate to the world, to the universe, to your thoughts, to your emotions, to all of these things that also ties into understanding, well, what's purpose, what is happiness, what is joy, right? How do you know those things if you don't study them, right? And this is what Vipassana allows you to do, is it gives you a deeper understanding and a deeper awareness of who you are, of what you are. And this, I think, is, the biggest benefit that it provides. And of course, it also, reduces stress, reduces anxiety, makes you more loving, makes you feel good, feel connected, and all these, amazing benefits. And the list is endless. You could look up meditation benefits and you will find so many benefits of Vipassana. So I think, Vipassana, that's at the root of it. That's what it is. And you can go to dhamma.org. You can read a little bit more about it. You can sign up for courses. And so all the videos that I make on this channel are going to be about Vipassana and how it's impacting my life and how I'm relating to all these things, right? How I'm relating to certain thoughts, certain emotions, certain events, certain worldviews, all of this, and how Vipassana itself and that practice changes or enhances my relationship with those things, and how it can for you as well, So I hope this is inspiring. Maybe you've never taken a course and now you want to go take a course, or you've, just started your journey and you are wanting to deepen your practice and you're wanting to deepen your wisdom. So that, in a nutshell, is what Vipassana is. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.